You just priced a new pickup truck. Not the fancy one with the leather seats and the diesel engine. Just a regular half-ton. Maybe a Ford F-150. Maybe a Ram 1500. You walked off the lot when they told you $65,000. Or 70, or 80. You laughed. Then you went home and started looking at aircraft classifieds. And you realized something strange. A new truck costs more than a used airplane. Not a project, not a basket case. A flying, legal, insurable airplane. That changes the math, doesn't it? Because you need a truck, but you want a plane. And what if you could have both? What if you bought a 15-year-old truck for $20,000 and spent the rest on aviation? Let me show you 3 planes you can buy right now for the price of that new truck you almost financed. Number 1, the Cessna 182 Skylane, the king of the fixed-gear singles. Not the 182 you see at the flight school with the worn seats and the overpriced leaseback. I am talking about a 1960s Skylane, the straight-tail version, the one before they added the huge rear window. These planes are everywhere, and the market is ignoring them because they do not have the modern upgrades. No autopilot, no glass, no leather. But here is the truth. A 1964 Cessna 182 with a run-out engine and decent paint sells for $60,000 all day long. That is the price of a new truck. But that Skylane will carry 4 adults and full fuel and bags. It will cruise at 140 knots. It will climb out of a hot day at a high-altitude field without breaking a sweat. It has a constant speed propeller. It has cowl flaps. It has manual Johnson bar flaps that never break. And when you sell it 5 years later, it will still be worth $60,000. Try that with a truck. But you have to know what to look for. The 182 has a weakness. The rear window. Not the big one on the late models. The small one, the seal dries out, water gets in. The bulkhead corrodes. That is an expensive repair. So when you look at a cheap 182, you bring a bore scope. You look behind the rear bulkhead. If you see rust, you walk. If you see clean aluminum, you make an offer. And you offer 55. Because the seller is asking 60, but expecting 50. That is how the game works. Number 2, the Piper PA 28180 Cherokee Archer. Not the Archer 3 with the fancy interior. The early Archer. The 1970s model. The one with the Hershey bar wing. The one that handles like a dump truck but lands like a feather. These planes are the best kept secret in general aviation. You can buy a flying Archer with a mid-time engine and a decent panel for $55,000. That is less than a fully loaded Ford F-250. And what do you get? 4 seats, 130 knots, 8 gallons per hour on a good day. Parts everywhere. Any mechanic can work on it. Insurance is cheap, and the safety record is excellent. The Hershey bar wing does not float. That is good. It forces you to land with authority. No floating down the runway wondering if you are going to run out of pavement. But here is the trick. Do not buy the Archer with the tapered wing. That is the Archer 2. It is a better plane. It is also $10,000 more expensive. You are looking for the budget plane. The one the flight schools sold off because students wanted glass cockpits. That plane is a gem. I know a pilot who bought a 1976 Archer for $52,000. He put 2,000 hours on it over 8 years. He changed the oil. He replaced the tires once. He had one annual that hurt. The rest were routine. When he sold it, he got $48,000. $4,000 to fly for 8 years. That is $500 a year. You cannot rent a bicycle for that. Number 3. The Beechcraft Musketeer Sundowner. Yes, the ugly one. The one that looks like a box fan with wings. The one that Beechcraft owners pretend does not exist. This plane is a bargain because of snobbery. The Bonanza guys look down on it. The Baron guys laugh at it. But you are not trying to impress anyone. You are trying to fly. And the Sundowner flies. It has 4 seats. It has a steel cage fuselage that will survive a crash that would fold a Cessna in half. It has a Lycoming 0360 engine, the same engine in the Archer, the same engine in the Skyhawk. Parts are everywhere. And because the market hates the way it looks, you can buy a clean Sundowner for $50,000. I have seen them for $45,000. I have seen one for $38,000 that needed an interior and paint. That is truck money. That is economy car money. What is the catch? Speed. The Sundowner is slow. 115 knots on a good day. Maybe 110. You will not win any races, but you will arrive. And you will arrive in a tank. The Sundowner has a roll cage built into the roof. The doors lock like a car door, not the Cessna latches that pop open in turbulence. Real doors, real locks, you feel safe. And that is worth something. But let me be honest about the Sundowner. The fuel system is quirky. You have to manage the tank selector, left, right, both, off. But the both position does not feed evenly. One tank will empty faster. You have to watch it. If you do not watch it, you will run a tank dry with fuel still in the other tank. That is not a failure. That is a learning experience. And learning experiences make you a better pilot. Now let me add a bonus plane, the Grumman Tiger, not the AA1, the AA5B Tiger, the one with the 4 cylinders and the sliding canopy. These used to be $40,000. Then the internet discovered them. Now they are $65,000. But you can still find a Grumman Cheetah, the AA5A, the smaller engine, the 150 horsepower instead of 180. That plane sells for $50,000. It cruises at 120 knots. It burns 7 gallons per hour. The canopy slides back like a fighter. You feel cool. That is worth something. And the Cheetah has the same bonded aluminum construction as the Tiger. No rivets, no corrosion. The plane is basically a flying bathtub, but a bathtub that handles beautifully. The controls are light. The response is immediate. It is the closest thing to a sports car that has 4 seats. Here is the hard truth. All of these planes are old. They are from the 1960s and 1970s. They have steam gauges. They have radios that weigh as much as a small child. They have paint that is fading. They have interiors that smell like stale coffee and old leather. That is why they cost the same as a truck. Because a new truck is shiny. A new truck has Bluetooth and heated seats and a backup camera. A new truck does not have a carburetor. But a new truck also does not fly. And that is the trade. You give up modern convenience. You gain the sky. I want you to think about this. You are going to spend $50,000 on something. That is a fact. You have the money. You are going to spend it. You could spend it on a depreciating asset that sits in your driveway and takes you to the grocery store. Or you could spend it on a depreciating asset that sits on a ramp and takes you to the Bahamas. Both will cost you money to maintain. Both will break. Both will frustrate you. But only one of them will let you look down at the clouds. Let me give you a warning. Do not buy the cheapest example of any of these planes. The $40,000 Sundowner with the cracked cylinder and the bald tires is not a bargain. It is a trap. You will spend $20,000 in the first year fixing things the previous owner ignored. You want the $50,000 Sundowner that was flown every week and hangared every night. That plane is worth the premium. Pay the premium. Smile when you write the check. Because the alternative is paying the mechanic. And here is another warning. Insurance. If you have less than 500 hours, these planes will cost you more to insure than you expect. The Cessna 182 is a high-performance airplane. That word, high performance, makes underwriters nervous. Expect to pay $2,000 a year for hull insurance on a $60,000 Skylane. The Archer is cheaper, $1,500. The Sundowner is cheaper still, $1,200. Call an insurance broker before you buy. Get a quote. If the quote scares you, Buy a smaller plane. The Cessna 150, the Piper Tomahawk. Those cost $800 a year to insure. But that is a different conversation. Let me ask you something. Right now, honestly, how many times have you driven to the airport just to watch other people fly? How many times have you sat in the pilot shop buying a headset for a plane you do not own? How many times have you told yourself, next year, next year, next year? Next year is a lie. The planes are out there. The prices are reasonable. The only thing missing is your decision. You can buy a truck, or you can buy a plane and drive a beater. That is the choice. That has always been the choice. I have flown the Honda Jet Elite 2. I have flown the Embraer Praetor 600. Those are amazing machines. But they are not the dream. The dream is freedom. And freedom does not cost $7 million. Freedom costs $50,000. Freedom looks like a 1965 Cessna 182 with chipped paint and a cracked windshield and an engine that starts on the first try every time. That plane will take you anywhere you want to go. Not fast, not high, not quiet, but anywhere. And that is enough. If you have bought a plane for the price of a truck, tell me about it in the comments. What did you pay? What did you get? What broke first? The more stories we share, the easier it is for the next pilot to take the leap. And if you are still driving that new truck to the airport, wondering what it would be like to taxi past the fence instead of parking outside it, tell me that too. Tell me what is stopping you. I will answer. Because the sky is waiting. And it does not care what you drive to the hangar. It only cares that you show up.